all, and that was his condition, and so we had to take him up on that. I mean, obviously things kind of unraveled to a certain extent, or developed during the course of the film. And in terms of showing them, I mean, we showed them a rough cut when we were close to done. You know, I think they vetted us and trusted us because of the previous films that we had made, and also our kind of personal backgrounds and what brought us to Randy's story. And we made it over the course of 3 years. And of course, during that time, we, got to hang out with these guys quite a bit and really came to love and appreciate both of them. And as filmmakers, I'll let Tyler take it over, but it's hard, you have to care about your subject. I mean, you're going to spend the time and the effort and the sweat and the blood and the tears of making a film. It's got to be something that's important to you, and they knew that. And to their great admiration, they trusted us for what we're doing.
Yeah, making a film is very difficult and exhausting and trying, albeit very lucrative process. To make independent documentaries, obviously. And so when you do make a film, and I've said this before, is when you write a script or when you write a book or when you make a film, make sure it's something that you believe in, something that is important to you. And for Justin and I, I was raised as a Mormon, and I had consequently left the faith, and I felt like I had spent my life being deceived in many ways. So when I found out about a guy who had spent his life trying to expose deception, I was very interested in his motives and why and how and what drives a person like that. So we're very, very lucky to be able to spend many years with Randy, not just the 3 years we spent with him, but the 86 years of tapes and footage and books and articles that he had. And Justin came at it from a similar aspect in some ways.
I was not brought up as a devout Mormon. Secular Jewish New York background, but I, as well as a filmmaker, I've been a scientist, and a lot of my earlier work was science and environmental documentaries, and Randy's mission, the pro-science critical thinking mission, is something that just to me is something that's just essential for our world. So we both came to it with a great respect for his ability to kind of teach and give this message, but not like as an academic, not as somebody who's just lecturing and saying this is what you should think, but somebody who's entertaining at telling people what they should think.
The flip side of that question then for Randy and Davey, when you first saw that rough cut, what was it like for you? I mean, there was things in the film that you probably hadn't been there when they shot it. What kind of reaction did you have? Was it an interesting process at that point?
Sorry. I don't think I saw it as interesting. I don't think I saw it as interesting. It was just very emotional because I saw scenes surrounding when he was very distraught when I was in detention, and obviously I didn't see the scene until
when he says in detention, there were some scenes that we shot with Randy when Davey was incarcerated,
right.
And he didn't know and hadn't seen what Randy was going through at that time.
Right, and so they were very intense, and I had to process a lot. But it's been a wonderful journey since, but it was very intense at first.
Yeah, at that moment there where I said, you must not use any of this sort of thing. I decided, this is not me, this is the audio system. I got it. Yeah, we did that whole stump the last 15 minutes just to see if they can get it. So I must say that I did call the two gentlemen to my right over here. I did call them after I had a chance to recover, because when I made that statement saying none of this must be used, etc., Davy had just been taken away, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the next move on behalf of the authorities was going to be, or my next move, or their next move. And so I was a bit bewildered. But after I had a day to think it over, I called them and said, wait a minute, my agreement with you was warts and all, so go right ahead, use it. And they did, and I'm very happy with the result. We're both very happy on it.
We premiered last year, the Tribeca Film Festival. It's been over a year since we premiered this film, and we've been all over the country, all over the world, showing it, screening it, doing many Q&As in front of audiences, and it's really nice because people who are big fans of James Randi get to see him and meet him and sometimes learn a little bit more about him, but also a new generation has learned about James Randi, and it's kind of sad because this will most likely be our last appearance. The film has kind of run its course. It is on iTunes, it'll be on Netflix in a few months, so this might be one of the last screenings, so it's really...
My last appearance.
You never want to say last. So it's really bittersweet to be up on stage with these people who I've spent years with and have come to really, really love and appreciate.
Great. Well, let's. I'm sure lots of you have questions, so raise your hand up. Yeah, there's one down here. Go for it.
Yeah, I grew up in a faith healing cult in Indiana. We were kind of famous. We had about 100 deaths from people not going to hospitals and stuff. So the stuff in the 80s really hit home to me personally. So I wonder, and I'm trying to work on a documentary about that, and all that good stuff, but I wonder just going forward, because we see that in Idaho now, we see like the church out there with lots of faith healing deaths and stuff like that. As skeptics, what do you think we can do? What's the next step going forward with these faith healing churches and things like that, of people denying their children medicine? What do you think the next step? What can we do right now? What would you?
Why don't you use that mic? Randy, what can you do about it?
Well, one. Nope.
That's working.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right. One of the things that has me concerned in a major way right now is the anti-vaxxers out there. Yes. Louis Pasteur, he came up with a great idea. He has saved tens of millions of lives. That's the number of people actually that have been saved from deadly diseases that used to kill. Invariably, they killed. And smallpox we just haven't heard of at all. It doesn't exist except in a vault someplace in Switzerland. And it's been preserved because they might want to study it again, should it ever come back, because it's not impossible. But the point is, the anti-vaxxers have spread all kinds of false information about mercuric poisoning and whatnot in human beings, and it's all, what did Penn and Teller say? Oh yes, bullshit. I think it's a wonderful phrase that covers it very well. Oh, faith healers, yeah, well, faith healers, they're a plague on our civilization. They're all over the world. They're literally all over the world. They're carrying on like that insidious man, Peter Popoff, that you saw on the screen there. And this man is still in business. He's still working. He's selling a slightly different thing. He's selling water from Chernobyl now. Come on, because all of the Christians who took the water, drank some of the water, they all lived, you see. Duh. Absolutely unsubstantiated statements, but he's still selling it, and he's selling it strongly, and he's still making money hand over fist, as fast as he can. It's astonishing. But something has got to be done about that. I wish some legislator would come down on these people and say, prove that what you say is true. And I don't want to have it proven from a book called the Holy Bible. I'd rather have it proved to me right in person. Show me. I want to see the material evidence. And I think we have the right to demand that.
question.
Got one over here, Tim.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, sir.
Who came up with the title for the film?
Title for the film.
That's a good question.
We were on a phone call.
Yeah, I think, we were talking about it originally. Scientific method, I've identified the problem. We started out calling it Skeptic, and, at a certain point, when I think we refocused it more into the realm of deception, that we weren't focused so much on the skeptic movement, but on the theme of deception, that we didn't come up with it. There's actually one of the people in the film, Jamie in Swiss, uses that term kind of as his name, but it is a term that's been used for magicians and mentalists. I mean, it's not, I'd love to say that we came up with the idea.
And we love the title,
And
though.
I
It's
mean,
filled with
dishonest.
irony, it's short, it's simple, it's a nice title.
And that title belongs to all actors. Because magicians are not magicians. We don't really do miracles, you see. I guess you gathered that from seeing the show. The point is that we are actors playing the parts of magicians. I pretend to be a magician. And pretending is what's in the cards for us. In the cards, get it? But I was wondering if this audience might see a small demonstration going. Oh, okay, I'll go home then. I'd like to have excuse me. I need somebody to rather hold the microphone for me, I guess. Davey, would you be in charge of that, please? Thank you. Hi there. My name is James. Oh, no, you're right. I would like to have two gentlemen to join me on the stage. Let's move these chairs back just a wee bit. Two gentlemen that are strangers to me. Any two gentlemen? Let's go.
Right here. Come in.
I'm gonna film it.
And come in.
Hi, George. I mean, whoever you are.
He's not a fan.
Pass the beard can't be all bad, right? Oh, you gotta join me on the other side over here, please. Thank you so much.
I want to protect our asset.
You're always protecting your assets.
Exactly, protecting my asset. That's,
Good day, sir. Good evening, pardon me. I'm going to do a small demonstration. Some of it you saw in the film a bit earlier. And, I did forget to ask, sir, do you happen to have a piece of rope about that long?
No, not that long.
No? You, sir?
Sorry.
Oh, well, by a strange and somewhat contrived coincidence, I do have a piece right here. It looks about the right size and strength. Would you hold that in, sir?
I would love to.
Both hands, please. That's it. And you on that end? That is now your end. Okay, both hands. Now, I want you to pull on it, the two of you, making sure that it doesn't come apart or screw apart or anything like that. Come on, really? No, you're not putting tension on it, there. Oh, that's fine. Oh, much better. Okay. Are you satisfied? Say yes.
I'm very satisfied.
I'm glad to hear that.
Same here.
You're padding your part. Okay. Now, I would like you to be so kind to hold on to your end again. That's your end right there. You go on to your end and pull on it very, very tightly now, making a knot on top of the wrist. Okay, down a little lower if you would, please. Thank you. Down a little lower. That's fine. Now bring it around on top and tie a knot on top of the other hand, thus fastening both hands together. And really heave on it. Now come on, put some strength. That's fine. Tie another knot on top. Yeah? Okay. All right. Is there room for another knot?
Yeah.
I'm a fool for punishment. Go right ahead and try another one. Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Okay. That feel tight to both of you?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to, there's all kinds of stuff on the stage. Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay, stand up here. Move over a little bit. Oh, the rope's in here. Yeah.
couple more questions, unless there are any more tricks up someone's sleeve. Yeah, a little midway back there. Yeah, go for it.
Did the fact that Houdini was so interested in debunking influence you at all?
Well, that's a good question. Thank you, ma'am. Unfortunately, I was born 2 years after Houdini died, and I had nothing to do with his death, so I can prove it. I was too small at the time. And I think in a certain way, all magicians had a debt that they owed to Harry Houdini. Oh yeah, I really do this, indeed. Because he created the art of the escape artist, which had never been seen before he came along and decided to show his talents in that direction. But I think that I would have developed an interest in both magic and in the escape artistry as well, because as a child, I was one of those unfortunate child prodigy things. I literally stayed out of grade school in Canada and just went in to write the examinations. But it's true, that's all I had to do. It's all that God really called for me to do at that time. And, pardon me, I read everything I could possibly on Harry Houdini, of course. Some of it was fictional, some of it was wrong, and some of the methods they said he used were absolutely wrong, and I had to figure those out as well. But he was a great example to me, as he is, as I say, to all people in show business in general, and particularly the magicians. So I do owe him a great deal, and I have a couple of pictures of him framed on my wall in my office at home, which I'd be glad to show you. Should you all come? No, not all at once. If you would like to visit me, I am available for that purpose.
How about this gentleman right here? Yes, sir.
Okay. I was wondering, in the film, you gave away a couple of the deceptions, but most of them you ended up not showing. Was that a director's decision? Was that the protagonist's decision, or whose decision?
Well, that's the magician's decision, you see. We don't tell our secrets because otherwise we're out of business. You know, if they know how the tricks are done, they aren't quite as charmed by them, you see.
So, yes, we don't. We don't give away any tricks. There's one where he's preventing Geller from performing on Carson, where he kind of explains it. And yeah, a lot of people ask us this because they're like, how did they spin the rotor, or you know? And the one thing that I've learned throughout this process, and I was never a huge magic fan, like everybody. I love magic, but any magic trick, what's amazing about it is that it's doing something that seems impossible. And once you're told how it's done, the magic disappears. So it's always disappointing. What's exciting is not knowing. And we, you know, so in appreciating that, I think we wanted to also respect the magician's code. But, you know, privately, you know, we'll tell you one-on-one.
We made a conscious decision not to tell. I think early cuts had some reveals, and we had a lot of discussion about whether we should put it in or not, but in the end, it was without question, we didn't tell any of the secrets.
Sorry.
Take this gentleman here, and then we'll come to the lady on the end in a moment. Yes, sir.
When you guys started the film, did you know about the Jose Davey identity thing, or did that unfold while you were making it?
It was surprisingly, we did not know. It happened while we were in the midst of filming, and as filmmakers, you know, as filmmakers, as human beings, it broke our hearts. We love these people and we cared for them, and it was tough for us to be a part of. As storytellers making a film about deception, it was quite an interesting twist. So obviously we had to continue filming, and we also had to, it did elongate the filmmaking process. And kudos to these two during a very, very difficult time in their life, which could have ended in a very different kind of film. You know, the film could have ended a lot different. Kudos to them for being brave enough to let us to continue to tell the story, to continue to be in their home and talk to them in a very trying time.
Something is
interesting to me, I'm going to pass it.
Okay. Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, good, I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I think Jamie has something to tell you about an article that came out of the local press here. Please?
No, it's okay. Continue. Don't worry about that. No. When the guys, there's been quite a few people that wanted to make Randy's biography film over the years, and we never felt that they were quite the people to do it until Justin and Tyler came, and we actually asked to see their work, and we saw Sons of Perdition, Tyler, and Being Elmo by Justin, and we were quite impressed by the respect and the real approach that they have towards their subject, and we felt that was this is a group of people that should do run this story. However, for obvious reasons, when they say documentary,